Hello students, welcome to the class. We have discussed in our last video the first competitive exam class for the unit test solutions. We were discussing the NCERT MCQ type 1 questions. We have completed 5 questions there. So we'll continue with the MCQ type 1 question, the question number 6 in our present class. You can observe the question. Low concentration of oxygen in blood and tissues of people living at high altitude is due to option A, low temperature, option B, low atmospheric pressure, option C, high atmospheric pressure, and the last option, both low temperature and high atmospheric pressure. So again, the question is a theoretical concept, so it's based on the application of Henry's law. We know that from Henry's law, the solubility of gas in a liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas present above the surface of the liquid. That explains if the solubility of the gas and the partial pressure, if it is related, if the pressure of the gas is more, then the solubility of that gas in a liquid will be more. Now, if you observe in the question, low concentration of oxygen in blood, that is oxygen gas, so whose concentration is less in the blood and tissues of people living at high altitude, it is due to. So we know that in high altitudes, what happens with pressure? As we know, if we move from the ground level, above the ground level, the pressure decreases. And from the ground level, below, if we move, the pressure increases. As in the high altitudes, with decrease in pressure, the solubility of oxygen in blood and tissues of people living at high altitude will be less. As a result of that lesser solubility, we know that the persons will suffer from a medicated condition called anoxia. So anoxia is the medical condition associated with the low level of oxygen intake in the blood. So for the people living at high altitude. So hence from the 4 options, so which is the correct one if we identify. So the low atmospheric pressure is responsible for low concentration of oxygen in the blood. Hence the correct option is, it is option B. Hence the correct answer for the question is, it is option B. You can observe the next question, question number 7. Considering the formation, breaking and the strength of hydrogen bond, predict which of the following mixture will show a positive deviation from Raoult's law. So we need to observe the following examples in the given options, and we need to analyze with the formation of hydrogen bond, breaking of hydrogen bond, or the strength of hydrogen bond. So which of the following examples will show positive deviation from Raoult's law? We know that non-ideal solutions are classified based on the deviation shown by them into positive deviation showing solutions and negative deviation showing solutions. A positive deviation to observe, the solute-solvent interaction will be weaker than the solute-solute, solvent-solvent interaction. That is, A-B interactions are weaker when compared to AA and BB type. The solute-solvent interaction will be weaker to form a positive deviation showing solution. So I think all the examples we have discussed in the theory classes. Methanol and acetone. So methanol molecules will held by strong hydrogen bonds. Acetone with a strong dipole-dipole interaction. Chloroform and acetone, nitric acid and water, phenol and aniline. So you can recall the concept of the intermolecular forces formed between the 2 compounds now. So as we have observed, so methanol and acetone, if they interact, their interactions will be weaker when compared to methanol-methanol or acetone-acetone interaction. Hence, this is the example which will form a positive deviation from Raoult's law. Whereas chloroform, acetone, nitric acid and water There is nearly 68% of nitric acid in water, phenol and aniline. All these will form a stronger attractive force once they mix with each other. Hence, due to strong attractive forces, so these three will show negative deviation from Raoult's law. Methanol and acetone mixture will show a positive deviation from Raoult's law. Hence, the correct answer for the question is, it is option A. That is, methanol acetone mixture will form positive deviation showing solution, whereas the remaining will form a negative deviation showing solution. So with this, we'll go for our next program. Okay, we'll observe the next question. Again, a very important theoretical concept again. So it explains the information regarding the colligative properties. The question similar to this is repeated many a times in the previous years, which is a direct conceptual question. You can observe the question now. Colligative properties depend on. So we know that colligative properties will depend only on the number of solute particles, but not on the nature of solute particles. Now we'll look into the answer from the given options. Option A, the nature of solute particles dissolved in the solution. We know that colligative properties will not depend on the nature. The number of solute particles in solution. So that explains the answer. So colligative properties will always depend on the number of solute particles. Hence option B is correct. We'll look into the other options also. Option C, the physical properties of solute particles dissolved in solution. So it does not depend on the physical properties of solute particles. The last option, the nature of solvent particles. So again, the colligative properties will not depend on the nature of solvent particles. It depends only on the number of solute particles to consider. So we know that there are four such colligative properties. It is RLVP, relative lowering of vapor pressure, elevation of boiling point, depression of freezing point, and osmotic pressure. All the four are colligative properties whose measurement depends only on the number of moles of solute particles, but not on the nature of solute particle. And the correct answer is, that is from the given options, option B is correct. So with this, we'll move to the next question. We'll observe with the question number 9 from the MCQ type 1. Very important type of questions for competitive exam. Which of the following aqueous solutions should have highest boiling point? So which of them they have highest boiling point, they have asked. Now to relate the boiling point information, so you can learn with Van 't Hoff factor information, as well as after calculating the Van 't Hoff factor, you can relate with the number of particles as a colligative property to understand. We can explain with elevation of boiling point here. Before going to that, we'll try to calculate Van 't Hoff factor for all this. We can observe one common thing in all the options, their concentration is same. So they are all 1 molar solutions, refers to 1 mole present in a liter of solution. Now Van 't Hoff factor, if we calculate, so for NaOH will dissociate as Na plus and OH minus. So hence number of dissociated ions, it is 2, hence Van 't Hoff factor for NaOH is 2. For sodium sulfate, it is 2 Na plus sulfate ion. So it is 1 sulfate ion, 2 sodium ions, hence Van 't Hoff factor is 3. For ammonium nitrate, 1 ammonium ion NH4 plus and 1 nitrate ion NO3 minus. So number of dissociated ions are 2, hence Van 't Hoff factor is 2 divided by 1, it is 2. And for potassium nitrate, so it is K plus NO3 minus, so which is equal to 2. Now if you observe, the Van 't Hoff factor is greater for sodium sulfate, so which is equal to 3. Now you can think with elevation of boiling point, which is delta TB is equal to, with correction of Van 't Hoff factor term, I into Kb into molality. Now their concentrations are all same. Now if the question is related to elevation of boiling point or boiling point, if it is asked, you can recall with a similar equation. We know that elevation of boiling point is defined as TB minus TB naught. It is boiling point of solution minus boiling point of pure solvent. Now, which will have highest boiling point? So you can relate with which will have the greater elevation of boiling point. So delta TB will be higher with higher the value of I. Hence, if delta TB is high, the boiling point of solution will be high. So that means we can relate with Van 't Hoff factor is that. So delta TB is directly proportional to Van 't Hoff factor. Higher the value of I, higher will be the elevation of boiling point. Similarly, higher will be its boiling point of solution also. So that means higher the value of I shows that the boiling point of the solution is also high. Now, which of the following solutions will have highest boiling point? The one which is having greatest Van 't Hoff factor, I. So if we observe from the given four options, 1 molar Na2SO4 sodium sulfate whose Van 't Hoff factor is 3 is having the highest value. Hence, it has the greater boiling point among the given four. Hence, the correct option is answer B. The same information you can recollect to remember for depression of freezing point. Similar to elevation of boiling point, depression of freezing point is also directly proportional to Van 't Hoff factor I, but freezing point of solution is not. So because delta TF there is calculated as TF naught minus TF. So hence, so higher the value of I, higher will be the depression of freezing point and lower will be the freezing point of solution. That we'll try to relate with the question related to depression of freezing point. So with respect to boiling point is considered. So you can remember higher the value of I, higher will be its elevation of boiling point as well as higher will be its boiling point of the solution. So higher the value of I, so both elevation of boiling point as well as the boiling point of the solution, both will be high for the respective solution. Now we'll consider the question number 10 from MCQ type 1 questions. Again, a very direct question, but whatever the information given here in the bracket, so we'll give an alternate way of expressing the unit. We'll observe the question. The unit of a bilioscopic constant is. So we know that a bilioscopic constant or molar elevation constant. So you can recall the equation delta TB is equal to Kb into m, that is molality. Rearrange the equation to get the unit of Kb. So Kb is equal to delta TB divided by molality. We know that temperature, the SI unit of temperature is Kelvin, and the unit of molality is, it is number of moles present in kg of the solvent, mole per kg. So hence we can consider the unit either Kelvin divided by molality, which is equal to Kelvin molality inverse. So it is Kelvin molality inverse. So we'll consider here only. Or Kelvin per kg in the numerator, it is kg, mole in the numerator, mole inverse. Kelvin kg per mole or Kelvin molality inverse. So both will be the unit of kg. Anyone we can consider. Now from the option, given option, so it is Kelvin kg per mole or Kelvin molality inverse, so which is given in option A. Hence the correct option is it is answer A. We'll move with the next question. Again, a very important type of questions for the competitive exams. The question is, in comparison to a 0.01 molar solution of glucose, 0.01 molar solution of glucose, the depression of freezing point of a 0.01 molar MgCl2 solution is. So with respect to two solution, they are asking what is the depression in freezing point, that is delta TF. So we know that delta TF with the correction factor of Vanta factor I into KF into M. So as their concentrations are same, so their number of moles in molality will also be same. Hence we can consider this value will be similar now. We will try to relate with the Vanta factor to relate the depression of freezing point. So then we'll try to consider our options. Now if you consider the first one, 0.01 molar solution of glucose whose Vanta factor I is equal to 1, because glucose will never dissociates or associates in solution. The Vanta factor for glucose is 1. 0.01 molar, the same concentration of the MgCl2 solution. So will dissociate as it is an ionic compound, magnesium ion and the chloride ion gets dissociated in the solution. For every 1 mole of MgCl2, 1 Mg plus 2 and 2 Cl minus, that is 3 ions gets dissociated. The Vanta factor will be 3 by 1, so that is 3. Now if we observe, it's a direct information. So the depression of freezing point of MgCl2 is 3 times greater when compared to glucose. So as its Vanta factor is 3, if you relate in the equation, you can consider that. Now hence, from the given options, the option which is correct is, so it is about 3 times option C is correct. We will observe the 12th question. The question is, an unripe mango placed in concentrated salt solution to prepare pickle strives because. So this is the phenomenon we have learned. So when we are learning with the osmotic pressure and the type of solution, isotonic, hypertonic and hypotonic solution. So if the two solutions have same osmotic pressure, then they are isotonic. If a solution is having greater osmotic pressure than the other, then it is called as hypertonic. If a solution has lower concentration than the other, then it is said to be hypotonic for that. So in isotonic, cell size remains same. In hypertonic, cells will strive, whereas in the hypotonic solution, the cell size increases. That is, the cell swells. Now here the information strives indicates that, so the cell size decreases, refers to it is a normal osmosis process. So the movement of solvent takes place from a region of higher concentration to lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. Hence reverse osmosis is not correct. We need to look into the two processes there. Now to strive, it has to lose the water. Hence it loses water due to osmosis is the correct answer. The correct option is answer D. But you can think what happens exactly. So the concentrated salt solution will have the solvent which is less when compared to the unripe mango. Once they are placed, so as the mango contains more solvent when compared to concentrated salt solution, so the water present in the unripe mango will move out of the cell. As a result, the loss of water from the mango is responsible for its size to decrease. That is, the mango strives by placing in concentrated salt solution. So hope the answer is clear now. So the option D is correct. Now we'll try to continue with next question. We'll observe the 13th question. It is, at a given temperature, osmotic pressure of a concentrated solution of a substance, they are comparing with a dilute solution. So we'll try to look into each option. At a given temperature, osmotic pressure of concentrated solution of a substance is higher than that of dilute solution, lower than that of dilute solution, same as that of dilute solution, or it cannot be compared is the given option. Now if you think, if the two solutions are there, a concentrated solution and a dilute solution, a concentrated solution will have higher osmotic pressure than the dilute solution. So hence the correct option is, so it is option A, so which is having higher than that of the dilute solution. Hence the correct option for the related question is option